Hello everybody. I kind of want to tag on to a Facebook Live I did yesterday where I was talking about trying to decide what you want to do and how do you figure this all out. And at one point I said, your truth is in the beginning. Your limiting beliefs and fears are in the end, are in the middle, and then your success is in the end. So to repeat that, your truth lies at the very beginning, but in the middle are your successes, your fears, your limiting belief, and in the end are your successes. Because you know exactly what you want to do, but it's the muddy middle that gets everybody caught up. And people don't understand that it's your mind, it's mindset that's getting in your way. It's what you're saying to yourself and what you're listening to people around you. And that's why I call it the muddy middle. Because once you have the courage and the faith, or you're pushed into it. You know, I've seen so many people that weren't doing all that well and then something happened and they had to. You know, in my case, I was kind of always an underachiever, never really got much done, kind of poochy. And then my husband had a massive stroke and he wasn't working anymore. And at that point, I think I was making 11 bucks an hour. Now, granted, this was many years ago, you know, probably 25 years ago. No, it really wasn't that long, 20 years ago when this happened. But, you know, I was really leading the underachiever parade. So I had to get my shit together, and I had to get it together fast. Now, I have spent years upon years studying personal development. But the question always pops in, at what point do you get it? At what point do you really understand? You know, you always get to that point where you look around and you say, well, why does this person have money and I don't? Why does this person have a great career but I don't? Why do things never seem to click for me? And that's kind of where I was until he had a stroke. And then we had a little daughter at home. Our daughter was 3 or 4 years old. So I guess 27 years ago, if I put together her age. She was 3 or 4 years old. I had to step up because I knew he couldn't go back to work. So I had to do something other than make 10 or 11 bucks an hour. And in that moment of crisis, you start healing quickly, enough to get you to the next step. And you just have to take the next step and the next step. Now, I'm not saying I healed all my limiting beliefs that day because, you know, by God's good fortune, I ended up in a great job as a CEO where, you know, I wasn't even the boss of my dog, much less running an association. So I had to deal with all those limiting beliefs the whole way through my career. And that's what I'm talking about, the muddy middle. Because you're always, when you think you're healed, and you think, I can't be any more confident, I can't be any more clear about what I want, I can't. I mean, I think about something and I create it, and you get into that zone of excellence, and then the universe is like, okay, now you're ready for what's next. And another limiting belief pops up, or another insecurity that you didn't even know you had pops up, or something happens in your life and it makes you stand up and say, okay, I got to take notice. And for a lot of you guys, that's COVID. I mean, a lot of you guys, COVID's your muddy middle, because, you know, things were cruising by, everything was going well, and then COVID hits, and, you know, you have job losses and people unnecessarily passing, and, you know, the sadness, it's making people confront that middle. It's making people look within and say, okay, what do I really want? What am I really, really gonna do? And why am I not there? And I think that's the most important question, is why are you not there? Because if you dream it and you see it, you can ignite that possibility and go find your blue rose. So if you're not, you have to ask yourself, what's holding me back? Because nothing in this world is holding you back but you. I mean, I used every excuse in the book. My parents held me back, you know, my teachers held me back, you know, it didn't matter. You know, being abused held me back, being a drinker held me back, being homeless held me back. But that whole way through, I was holding myself back because I was so quick to give my power to everybody. And as you heal those beliefs, like I said, another one will pop up, but you just keep going down the stream, healing and healing. And then there'll be days when you wake up, it could be months that, you know, things are going fantastic. You're a master manifester. Everything is just going your way. And that's kind of how I was before COVID hit. You know, everything was, you know, I had a choppy year or two, but then, you know, things were starting to get better, and it was like, okay, and then COVID hit. Because during those choppy years, I didn't look at what I needed to look at. I looked at the superficial level. And that's what a lot of us have a tendency to do when we're looking at the muddy middle, is we're looking at that, the superficial, the easy to heal. Okay, well, I should have seen this coming, or I should have understood this, or, okay, I got to do that. But it's when you have to do that deep dive, that really introspective, why did I allow it to happen? What was I missing that I allowed this? Or, and it's whatever it is in your life, whatever is happening in your life. Because, and I'm not saying people go out and say, gosh, I want really bad things to happen to me. I got in an accident or any of that stuff. But it's what you make of it. And everybody goes through different phases, but it's what you decide to create in your life. It's what you decide that your messy middle is going to look like. And how long. I mean, my messy middle went on for years and years and years until my husband had a stroke, because I was ignoring all the signs. I wasn't paying attention. Homeless, okay, I can make it through that. Broke, okay, I can make it through that. Working for, $10 an hour, I can do that. Nothing was rattling me. Nothing was, because I was so numb. I was so numb to what was taking place around me my whole life that I had numbed out. And I wasn't paying attention. And when I had our daughter, it was kind of a wake-up call. I got this little wee one that, is looking at me like I'm her mom. Well, I was. But my husband, is an extraordinary dad. So even he was kind of making up for that numbness I was feeling until he had a stroke. So you have to ask yourself, what are you numb to? And that's a tough one to answer, because I would have said nothing. I would have said I'm the most aware person you ever meet. And even now I have to once in a while check myself and say, what am I numb to? What am I not seeing? What could I be doing that I'm missing? Or what am I ignoring? And that's the muddy middle. But in the muddy middle is your why. It's your gift. It's what's going to catapult you into unbelievable. The skies will become unlimited. Life will become unlimited. You will see possibilities around every turn. You will turn into a dreamer, because now you have faith in yourself and you'll be able to see everything. But you got to go through the messy, say that one 5 times. You have to go through the muddy middle, and everything has it. I don't care if you're in the best relationship. I don't care if you're in the best job. I don't care if you have the best parents, the best whatever. You have the best clothes, the best car. There's always a muddy middle, because we're human. And if you ignore the first muddy middle because it went by too fast, don't worry, there's another one and another one. And finally, a big one, in my case, my husband having a stroke, a big one will hit you that says, pay attention. You're numb. You're not paying attention. You're not challenging yourself. You're taking a deep dive in a shallow pool. You're not taking a deep dive in a deep ocean. And that was me. I felt like I was really doing all the inner work, but it was on the surface. I wasn't doing the deep dive. So when you know what your truth is, when you know what you really, really, really want, and because you think about it, you dream about it, every time, you might not think about it for months, and then all of a sudden it'll pop in your head and you'll be like, yeah, I'd like to do that. And at the end what success will look like. I'll have the new car, I'll have the college degree, I'll have a great husband, a great wife, I'll have, a great whatever has meaning to you, a great relationship with God, whatever has meaning to you. But you got to get through that muddy middle. And that's a tough thing, is getting through the muddy middle. So I hope you guys like this. If you have any comments, please put them in the comment section. Let me know what you think about the muddy middle. Do you need help finding your truth? Do you need help getting through the muddy middle? That's kind of where I see that, because I've been in the muddy middle for so long. I'm no longer stuck in the mud. I just thought of that one. I'm no longer stuck in the mud. So let me know how I can help you guys. Otherwise, have a great day. And here's to igniting your possibilities and finding your blue rose. Thanks, guys.